All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we are live in full effect right here, right now. We proudly would like to welcome back the one and only Chuck Platinum onto the radio station airwaves. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great, my brother. How you doing, man? It's good to be back.
Oh man, I'm gonna say it's good to be back as well, man. We're doing good down here in Canada, man. How's everything out where you are out in New York?
Oh yeah, no, everything is good, man. Everything is good. We can't complain. I haven't talked to y'all really since the pandemic, so we just trying to take it easy out here. That's all.
Same here, man. We're actually at the very beginning stages still. We're actually on a state of emergency lockdown, stay-at-home order. It's just a complete shit show down here in Ontario, brother.
Oh wow, oh wow. Oh, so yeah, y'all catching the brunt of it. Yeah, we dealt with that already. They starting to try to open things back up here. So yeah, that's what's going on right now.
But as you already know, man, my previous interviews, I always kind of open it up with, like, what made you decide to get into music. But we heard that during the first broadcast, man. But I also dug through the crates as well, man, and found some old school stuff as well. And I want to kick this off, man. And I want to take you back to November 14th of 1994, where you actually performed you performed at Showtime at the Apollo Theater with the one and only Steve Harvey, man. And I was wondering, what was that experience like, man, just being so young in your career, just performing at the Apollo Theater? Because that must have been a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a great experience, a pinnacle point in the career. For me, both me and my brother. Rest in peace, my brother Rick Supreme, who actually got us the opportunity. It was wonderful, being up there. We wasn't even supposed to be with the adults. They had the Apollo Kids section, but somehow we wound up, being with the adults and meeting all kinds of people like Brian McKnight and Rolanda Watts and Nice and Smooth and, different Teddy Riley, Blackstreet at that time, Men at Large, so all of these prominent stars. I just felt like we was meant to be there, and then meeting Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey giving me some very sound advice. I was able to, help me catapult in my career, and I'm sure my brothers as well. We was able to, go out there and show up and show out. So shout out to Showtime at the Apollo, Miss Maxine Lewis for helping us and giving us an opportunity. And yeah, it was definitely a blessing, man.
And I gotta say as well, man, what was it like just being able to chop it up with Steve Harvey, man? Because I heard he's a hilarious individual just to be able to hang out with.
Yeah. We didn't really hang out with Steve too tough. Steve was already like by the time we got to Steve, it was time to get on and time to do our thing. But just to be backstage with him, and we were super nervous. We was kids. We was about to go up at the Apollo. The history of the Apollo and people booing and the fan there. So I was up there and I had a little stage fright, but he gave me some sound advice that really changed my life. He told me, personally that he was up on that stage and sometimes he get afraid to be on the stage to go. So go ahead and do my thing. And that advice, led us to be able to get to get some standing ovation. So shout out to Steve Harvey, man. He definitely changed my life.
But also as well, man, just pertaining to the Apollo, man, the one thing I gotta ask, I do know sometimes they're actually recorded. Like, do you have like an old recording on the internet that people can actually go back and watch that if they're actually interested in seeing that performance back in November of '94?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's funny because we actually had. It took us a long time to find that footage, but we actually found the footage. I actually posted it on my IGTV as well, and if you want to see it, you can find it. You know what I'm saying? They definitely show it on TV. My nephew actually caught it on TV a couple of months ago. He couldn't believe that his uncle was on, Showtime at the Apollo. But yeah, there's some archives flying around. If you could find it, if you look back, you could definitely find it. Now, if we found it, you could definitely find it. I can't tell you where exactly, but if you go on my IGTV, you could definitely see that because I posted it up.
And also as well, man, since our last interview, you actually received a record contract with Death Rose Records, man. I was wondering, how did that record deal come to be for you, man? And of course, what is it like so far just actually being signed to that particular label?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to my Death Rose family. It was a beautiful experience, an organic one. Me putting my platform together, Record Breakers Radio. Shout out out to the CEO. I love you truly, a very, talented, gifted young man. He basically, he saw what I was doing. He was involved. He, like everybody else, submitted his music. And we just developed a relationship, and it was just so natural that we just, we just wanted to continue to build with each other, and we kept building. And on my birthday last year, I signed a deal. They put a deal on the table that I couldn't refuse, and the rest is history, man. I got to release my album, and my single is the first single and album released on the label. You know what I'm saying? They were just like a boutique label that was starting out, and we had this distribution deal with Sony, so they put me on the forefront because I was ready to go. So shout out to I Love You Truly, shout out to Mama Truly, shout out to all the artists on Death Rows, and we got a lot coming in store, a lot of international labels, so we got a lot of things, lot of things cooking up right now.
And also, man, as you mentioned a few moments ago about Record Breakers Radio, I know we touched base a little bit on that. I think during our first interview, you were just in the midst of actually rolling the platform out. But since it's actually out there and fully operational right now, can you tell our listeners a bit more about what you do on Record Breakers Radio? And of course, man, where can our listeners actually slide on over and check it out?
Yeah, absolutely. Record Breakers Radio is a platform that I created for the independent artists. It's a full-running, full-fledged radio station, just like our beloved, we call the brother station Outlaw Radio, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Y'all been super supportive of us from the beginning, always sharing, always, vibing out with us. But, I created this really out of just being able, as an elder statesman, to just give back to the artists, you know what I'm saying? It was all about giving back to the artists and being able to create a platform where, I could get involved with the artists but not be directly involved in their career. And, it worked. It gave me an opportunity to create a show called the Indie Heat Show, which I do every Saturday, 8 to 10 p.m. And, we just showcase an artist that want a chance, that want an opportunity for somebody to listen to their music. So as somebody that, had that opportunity to showcase different artists and have my own platform, I'm giving them an opportunity. So we're a full-fledged running radio station. We actually in the middle of, switching our service. So, we about to recreate our platform, and, we getting viewed by, on Roku and different platforms. So, it's dope, man. It's dope to be able to have a platform to give back to all the artists. So shout out to all the artists that submit every week, and everybody that's tuned in on a daily basis. We definitely appreciate y'all.
And also as well, man, I want to take you back just a little bit, man, to 2018, where you did some phenomenal production work for Bronx, New York hip-hop artist AG, also known as Andre the Giant, man. I was wondering, how did yourself and him get connected? And of course, what was it like what was it just like doing production on AG's record?
Oh, that's family, man. That's big, bro. We actually, I've known AG for almost 20 years. We actually met through a mutual sister of ours named Emma. She runs E2K magazine, and she's doing a lot of big things as well. They was having a showcase called the Bronx Idol back in 2003, and AG just happened to be the special guest. So, he respected me because, I had a crew of MCs that I was producing at the time, and he liked our work ethic and our music, and, me and him just developed that relationship to a point where, we was around Party Yardie and, B-Flow and, Ghetto Dwellers, you know what I'm saying, Get Dirty, and, we was around them, you know what I mean? So rest in peace, Party Yardie, and all of them. And I just kept building that relationship with A, you know what I'm saying? And he brought me around Show and Buck and Raw Finesse and, the whole Digging in the Crates. And, so that became an affiliated bond. And when he was, venturing, he's a creative soul, so he, creating he had an opportunity where he was creating, he wanted a whole bunch of artists and producers that he messed with to rock with him called Megatron, and he wanted me to be the, kind of like the headline producer on there. So me and him started working, And, me and him actually got a production team. A lot of people don't know. It's called Children of Never. So me and AG have done some productions together and stuff like that. So, for his Taste of Ambrosia album, I'm actually credited as an A&R also. I really, that was my baby too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the producers on that album. Shout out to, working with Diamond D and Alchemist and all of these people, Lord Finesse, the Boss Man, and he just gave me that was my first official credit, like A&R credit, and it happened to be with a legend. So, he gave me the A&R credit, and I just, happened to produce Fort Apache on there, you know what I mean? So, shout out to the big homies, shout out to the OG, AG, and PITC.
And I gotta ask as well, man, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Yourself and Andre the Giant, you form a great team, man. I gotta ask, do you guys have any, like, new projects currently in the works together?
Yeah, we working on the Children of Never project. You know what I'm saying? We got that in the works where, AG came up with some dope ideas, and I helped create that. So we got that in the works right now. He's been managing High Sadiddy and Shy Biggers, made a girl code. So I've been blessed and honored to be able to engineer some of these sessions and stuff like that. He's really been focusing on them as far as management. So he still of course doing the music and everything, but I'm sure once he get back in the studio and do his thing, then he'll be more. We'll get back in there and we'll figure something out.
And also as well, man, last year you actually did work with Mofo Hardy on the song Truth Bullets, man. I was wondering, how did yourself and Mofo get connected? And of course, what was it like to, where can our listeners actually check that song out?
Yeah. Mofa Hari is somebody that, she's been a blessing in my life. She's actually a very big part of my life, a supporter, a great friend of mine. I consider her family. Me and her just actually kind of met on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We met on Facebook like 7 years ago. Our spirits kind of just aligned, and she has a radio show as well, and she did several interviews on me, and she was, she kind of reminded me of you as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, she did her homework, knew her history, and it was dope, and I was impressed by that. And she invited me to work on her Bullets album, and I gave her a few beats. She said, you could either rap on a beat or produce and rap on whatever you want to do. So I say, nah, I'll produce a joint on your album. She worked with a lot of prominent people, like, the architects and, similar, people like that, beat miners, and she worked with a lot of people. So, for her to invite me on the album was just dope, and we did that Truth Bullets, and it's just a dope song about what was going on at that particular time when we did that. And you can find that on all streaming platforms. You know what I'm saying? Mofa Harvey featuring Chuck Platinum, Bullets produced by Chuck Platinum.
And I gotta say as well, man, it is a phenomenal, phenomenal song as well. So I encourage everybody that hasn't listened to that, make sure you head on out there, add it to your favorite Spotify playlist. But if you can spare $1, make sure you purchase the song right out.
Facts.
But also as well, man, you recently actually produced the track titled Baby by I Love You Truly, featuring the legendary Neo, man. I was wondering, what was it like just actually working alongside Neo? And of course, how did you guys actually get connected?
Yeah, Baby that's a funny story, man. Basically what happened was it was just a blessing in disguise. We actually, what happened was my brother Truly had actually purchased the what's called a work for hire verse, and a work for hire verse is verses that artists, they record, they made, they recorded, and they basically have it for sale. So we was able to acquire that. But at first, Neo wasn't really, he wasn't really going to support the record like that. But, we went back and forth with his manager, and Truly had actually had somebody else produce the record, and he really wasn't liking the direction that the record was going. He asked me to, get involved with it. I brought two other producers, Music Maestro and J Track in there. Music Maestro brought J Track, and we just teamed up and just gave him a banger. And once they heard the banger, shout out to Loom, Loom was a big help of that too. So, with Loom and his manager getting behind the scenes, Neo actually got to hear the song. And not only did he like it, but he supported it. He put it on his When There's Smoke EP, and he just rocked out with us from there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing to get from no support to him supporting the record on his own and giving us a little push, man. So shout out to Neo. I appreciate him for that.
And also as well, man, on March 19th of 2021, you actually dropped the album, which is your newest one, Curse of a Genius. And I have to ask you, man, what is the story and inspiration behind that phenomenal record? And of course, where can our listeners actually buy or stream themselves a copy of that record today?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and I definitely appreciate the compliment and accolades. That project basically came from. It's funny that you mentioned Mo Fahari. I was having a conversation with her, just talking about my life and trials and tribulations and everything that was going on in my life, and it wound up being like a phrase. I was like, man, it's just the curse of a genius. She's talking about my life, and I was just like, man, the light bulb came on, and I was like, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I can make a project out of, and I did the first song, I did the title track, and I just kind of built the project around it. So it was 7 songs, just speaking about my truth, speaking about what I had going on post pandemic. Because I had did a project called Let the Wolves Play earlier in 2020. Just kind of speaking my mind of what I was going through at the time when the pandemic first started. So this project is basically continuing where I left off. Just dealing with trials and tribulations of going through losses and gains at the same time and the wins and stuff like that. So I just wanted to give the curse is the gift, man. So I wanted to give the gift to the people, but if I would have called the gift of a genius, it wouldn't have been that much more interesting. So the curse is the gift that's hidden, and you could go get that gift at all streaming platforms, Amazon, wherever. It's posted up everywhere. You can get that everywhere. And there's a clean version out, and there's an instrumental version as well. So if you want to just hear the vibes of the music by itself, you can get all 3, stream all 3, buy all 3. 3 albums out there of one project.
And also, I have to ask as well, man, because our listeners, they're old school, man. You know what I mean? So do you have any hard copies of this phenomenal project? That way individuals can slide into your DM and potentially buy themselves a hard copy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We working on the hard copies. I'm actually gonna. I had got some requests for some vinyl as well, so we released it digitally. In the summertime, I'm gonna do a CD version, probably put an extra song. I got a couple of songs that didn't actually make it on the project, so they may be those deluxe. So we definitely gonna get back to the CD enthusiasts, the people that love the vinyl. And I might even put a cassette out of it as well, just as a collector's item as well. But you could definitely look for that. I say, what's this, the middle of April? I say about June or July, y'all can catch that CD and that vinyl as well.
That sounds great. And I gotta say, man, I just actually repurchased myself a vinyl player recently, man. I had an old one where the needle was broken. So once those vinyls get pressed up, man, make sure you DM me and let me know, and I most definitely will snag myself a vinyl, because nothing's better than listening to hip hop on some vinyl, man. The sound is just so unique. I love it.
That's a fact. And in the way we mixed it, we mixed it with a lot of old school textures, used a lot of classic textures on that, so it'll be interesting to see those textures that we mixed in there on the actual vinyl and how it sounds, with the warm vinyl. So yeah, you can definitely look out for that.
And also as well, man, I also read that you were actually working on a brand new EP, but I do know, like, obviously you're working on it, so you can't let too many cats out of the bag, but when this EP does drop to the general public, what can we expect from it?
Yeah. I'm actually, I'm working on a group project right now. The BACG project. Shout out to the Brotherhood. We not gonna let too much out the bag from that, but the Humbra single is out right now, produced by Wes. I'm producing four songs in the album. My comrade Music Maestro is producing the other four. So it's just, I mean, that project is just going to be an extension of what's going on. We got a lot of BACG brothers that release projects. Shout out to my brother Ern De Niro. He just released Final Four. My brother Sugar Hill Prophet, he just released something in February. We got my brother Skrilla Gambino coming up with the Chose tape, and some other projects coming up. So as BACG individually and as a collective, we like the 2021 Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? We coming out like that, and y'all can just expect some classic hip hop material from some super dope lyricists, and you might get a couple of bars in there from Chuck Platt as well. We just gotta see. You know what I mean?
And I gotta ask you, Chuck, other than the EP you're working on and you pushing this brand new record, what is next for Chuck Platinum, man? Like, is there anything I missed during this broadcast? Anything else you still want to talk about or promote while we still have you here live on the Canadian airwaves?
Yeah, man. Chuck Platinum is just, shout out to Record Breakers Radio. Shout out to the Chicago Bridge magazine. Shout out to all my partnerships, man. We're just building and growing an independent community for the artists, man, and we're just growing. So what you're expecting to see from Chuck Platinum in the next year or two is just growth. Helping different independent individuals boss up and get this game rolling, and we just doing big things. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, man. We just shout out to Record Breakers Radio. We produce some more shows and working on more personalities and more ways to get these these people out here, man. So shout out to everybody that support the brand, and that's it, man. Just keep watching, and Chuck Platinum is out there. Anything you want to know about me, I'm out there.
And also, Chuck, as you already know, man, that right before I end the interviews, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that does slide into the radio station airwaves. Just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to. But most of all, man, your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay updated. Everything Chuck Platinum, if they're not already doing so. But also, man, drop those radio station social media handles as well. That way individuals can check you out station-wise as well.
Yeah, man. You can Google me, Chuck Platinum. Everything is going to come up, music, everything. But if you want to contact me directly, at Chuck Platinum on every platform, Twitter, IG, everything, you can holler at me. I'm always there to chop it up, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to get locked in with the radio station, at Record Breakers, BREAKAZ Radio on FB, or you can hit us up on IG. We currently working a website right now, but you can go to recordbreakers.com when the site is up. We're working on the apps as well and just doing some different things, man. But right now, at Record Breakers Radio on FB, and at Chuck Platinum everywhere, man. Holla at me, be around.
Hey, man, I gotta say first and foremost, Chuck, thank you so much, man, for just giving us a little bit of your time again, you know what I mean, and sliding back into the radio station airways, man. It's always an honor and always a privilege to have the legendary, the self-made legend, Chuck Platinum, taking over my airways, man. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success, man, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again a third time sometime soon.
Man, I definitely appreciate you, and also I want to say, on air, I appreciate the nomination as well. You know what I'm saying? We was nominated for artists, you know what I'm saying, East Coast Artist of the Year, and I appreciate, shout out to all the winners, the winner, and shout out to everybody who's in the category as well. It was a fun event, and it was definitely innovative. I learned some things, from you and your lady as well, and, I appreciate that. So I just wanted to give you your roses as well, and thank you for, giving me an opportunity and being real supportive, because as you know, it's very few people in our genre that support each other, but you've always been supportive of me and my brand and everything that I've been doing since we first connected, man. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your platform as well, man. So, I look forward. I'm sure we're going to do this again. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, most definitely, bro. You already know we're connected. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean. MJ just gave it the nudge, but you already know we're connected, man. So anytime you need that push, man, just hit me up, man. We'll get you back on a third time.
You already know, man. I'm here, man. Outlaw Radio. Big up.
Hey,
Canada,
man,
what
you
up?
already know, brother. Thank you so much again, Chuck. We most definitely will be in touch, brother. But have yourself a wonderful night, man. We shall talk soon.
You too, brother. Thank you very much again.